Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nightmare Collective. I'm Chris. Thanks for stopping by and watching my review for Dark Glasses. Now this is a new Dario Argento film that I was lucky enough to see last night in a secret screening from Shudder. So I'm super excited that I did get to see this because I don't think the premiere for this release on Shudder is actually till the end of the month, but we all were pleasantly surprised when that's what it was. We all thought it was either going to be that or VHS 99. I'm glad it was actually this because while I like the VHS series, I don't know how well it's going to appeal to me. I definitely do want to watch that movie, but I haven't been a huge fan other than really the first one. But we'll see when that comes out. I'll definitely be covering that when it does. But let's get into this movie. This is the return to form for Dario Argento. It's been over a decade since he's made a movie. And some of his modern career stuff, I'm not a huge fan of. I think it's okay, but it's nowhere near, Deep Red or Tenebrae or Suspiria. None of the classics are even slightly replicated in this modern area. This is definitely the closest I think that we've gotten to his giallo style. Although I will say it's very tame in comparison, which I was kind of shocked by. It starts out with, a throat cut murder, and I was like, yes, he's back. We're in for it. But then it does kind of become a very different movie than what I thought it would be. So the premise around this movie is that it revolves around a prostitute named Diana, and she is blinded by a serial killer in an accident, and one of the boys who is left after his mother is killed in the same accident, named Chen, is basically kind of pseudo-adopted by her. I mean, she's basically taking care of him, and he is taking care of her because she's blind. And so that's kind of our premise here, is that the two of them, reluctantly become collided in this film, and then they're basically taking care of each other. And then in the background of this, we have this serial killer who is okay. I mean, he's very generic, but it ends up really not being the forefront for this movie. The context is not just oh, okay, it's a serial killer, it's very giallo, and then people are gonna die. People do die, but this movie is really more of a character study than I thought it would be. This film very much revolves around the relationship between Chen and Diana, and I mean, that's the part that I really gravitated to. Normally Argento is very much hey, you're actors, you are in the way of my violence and my nudity, so I need you to just do your thing. I don't care how good or bad it is, and then move along. This kind of subverts that a little bit, and we actually get some really good performances and some really good character moments in this. And so that's why I didn't expect it to kind of turn out the way it did. Also, the dog in this movie is awesome. Nira is awesome. She gets this dog kind of towards the middle of the movie that is supposedly helping her, kind of just with mobility and getting around the city and just for protection as well. It's given to her by Rita, who is a woman who specializes in kind of taking in the blind and kind of assisting them. She gives her walking stick and her phone that has accessibility options on it. So you kind of have this trio that's working together for most of the movie. And then you also do have these two cops that are looking for Chen at one point because he does escape into Diana's custody, and so they're looking for him, and they're coming by occasionally trying to figure out where Chen is. So we kind of have this cat and mouse, both in finding Chen and then the serial killer finding the two of them. So that's really kind of what the crux of this movie is, and what it involves. You kind of got all this going on, but again, the main plot and the main pull through of this movie is definitely Diana and Chen. And so that's what I have to say, man. Overall, I really just liked this movie. It's going to be a shorter review, like I said, because there really isn't much to the movie, and I really think you should just experience the movie as opposed to just me telling you beat by beat the things that I like and don't like. But that's really what I like. I like the character moments, and yes, there is violence in this, and it is done spectacularly like Argento is known for. It's definitely in that giallo style, so I really like that aspect of it. But that's really all I have to say about Dark Glasses. It was a super surprise from Shudder that we got to see this last night, and I'm super excited to see if they do this again throughout October. I really hope we do get this again because it was an awesome thing that I just kind of was on Twitter messing around and they're like, hey, secret screening in 2 hours. And then I was like, wonder what it's going to be. And then it popped up and it was a very exciting moment because most horror movies, you know what you're going in for. So you've seen the trailers, and I had actually not even seen a trailer for this movie. So I knew nothing about this movie at all. I remember hearing about it in like the beginning of the year that Shudder was going to put this out, but I totally forgot about it. So it was a pleasant surprise for me. But yeah, overall, I was really pleasantly surprised with the movie. I liked it. It's still not, you know, the best of Argento, but for his modern era style movies, I really enjoyed it. So like always, if you like what I do here, consider becoming part of the collective. You can check out some other reviews that I've done. We recently did Smile and Hocus Pocus 2 and My Best Friend's Exorcism. We got a lot on the channel, a lot coming up for the rest of the month of October. So check all that out. And as always, don't forget, some doors should never be open.